The night was thick with silence, broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves in the cold wind. Amara wrapped her thin shawl tightly around her shoulders as she trudged through the narrow forest path. The ancient trees loomed overhead, their branches tangled like skeletal arms reaching for the sky. Her breath came in quick puffs, a mixture of fear and determination propelling her forward. Tonight was not an ordinary night. The full moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. It was said that only under this moon would the midnight market reveal itself to those brave enough to seek it. Amara had no choice. Her son, Chima, was gravely ill. The village healer had done all she could, but the boy's condition worsened with each passing day. Desperate whispers in the market had led Amara to this perilous journey to the legendary midnight market, where spirits traded treasures for memories, dreams, and even years of one's life. Turn back, an ancient voice seemed to whisper through the wind. But Amara pressed on, her heart heavy with desperation. After what felt like hours, Amara reached the ancient fig tree that marked the entrance to the forbidden realm. Its roots twisted and curled like the writhing bodies of serpents. A faint shimmer hung in the air between two gnarled branches, the portal to the midnight market. Taking a deep breath, Amara stepped through. A sudden chill enveloped her. The world shifted, and she found herself standing in a vast clearing bathed in silver light. Stalls lined the area, each glowing with an otherworldly hue. Strange figures moved about, some transparent, others cloaked in shadows. The air was thick with the scent of incense and something sweeter, like forbidden fruit. Whispers filled the air, weaving tales of bargains struck and souls lost. Amara's heart raced as she moved through the market. A merchant with eyes like burning coals beckoned her to his stall. He displayed jars filled with shimmering liquids that pulsed like living beings. "Dreams," he whispered. "Priceless dreams harvested from the deepest corners of mortal minds. What will you offer in exchange?" Amara shook her head and moved on. At another stall, a hunched figure with skin like cracked earth offered fruits that glowed with an inner light. "One bite," the merchant hissed, "and you shall know eternal bliss. But beware, the price is steep." Amara clenched her fists. She was here for one reason only, to find the cure for Chima. Near the heart of the market, she spotted a stall draped in black silk. Behind it stood a tall figure wearing a mask that shimmered with changing colors, sometimes a serene face, other times a twisted grimace. "You seek a cure," the merchant said, his voice smooth as silk. Amara's breath caught in her throat. "Yes, my son's dying." The merchant tilted his head. "I have what you need. But the price is not gold or silver." "What do you want?" she whispered. The merchant's eyes glinted. "Your happiest memory." Amara's heart clenched. Her happiest memory was the day Chima was born, the first time she held him in her arms, his tiny fingers curling around hers. "Without that memory, who will I be?" she asked, her voice trembling. "A mother willing to do anything for her child," the merchant replied. Tears streamed down Amara's face. She thought of Chima's fragile body, his labored breaths. She had no choice. "Take it," she whispered. The merchant smiled and reached out. His hand hovered over her forehead, and a searing pain shot through her skull. Memories flashed before her eyes, the joy, the laughter, the overwhelming love. And then it was gone. Amara gasped, clutching her chest. A hollow ache filled the space where that precious memory had once lived. The merchant handed her a small vial filled with a shimmering liquid. "This will heal your son, but remember, memories once taken cannot be returned." Clutching the vial, Amara turned to leave. The market seemed to shift around her. the stalls twisting and blurring. Shadowy figures closed in, their eyes gleaming with malice. "No one leaves without fulfilling their bargain," a voice hissed. Fear gripped Amara, but she ran, her feet pounding against the ground. The portal shimmered in the distance, a beacon of hope. Hands clawed at her, whispers threatening to pull her back into the market. Summoning every ounce of strength, Amara leaped through the portal. As she landed back in the mortal world, Amara's chest heaved with exhaustion. The shimmering portal behind her flickered violently as shadowy tendrils slithered through, trying to bridge the gap between dimensions. Suddenly, a piercing cry echoed through the forest, the voice of the merchant. "You carry a debt that can never be forgiven. We will come for you." Amara stumbled forward, knowing that even though she was home, the spirits of the midnight market were not bound by the same rules as mortals. With a sudden gust of wind, the tendrils retracted, and the portal snapped shut with a thunderous clap. Silence engulfed the forest once more. Amara leaned against the ancient fig tree, her body trembling. Though she had returned safely, the words of the merchant echoed in her mind. There would be consequences. When Amara finally made it back to the village, dawn was breaking. The sky blushed with hues of pink and gold. Villagers gathered at the edge of the path, their faces filled with curiosity and concern. "Amara, we feared the worst," one elder said. "What happened in the forest?" another asked. Amara shook her head, unwilling to relive the harrowing experience. "Chima is well again. That is all that matters." The crowd parted as she walked toward her hut. Inside, Chima sat up on his mat, his cheeks rosy and his eyes bright. "Lie!" he exclaimed, throwing himself into her arms. Tears streamed down Amara's face as she held him tightly. The hollow ache in her heart remained, but her son's warmth was a balm to her soul. Days turned into weeks, and Chima's health continued to improve. The villagers hailed Amara as a hero, but she lived in quiet fear. Every night, she would stand at the edge of the forest, listening for the whispers of the midnight market. One moonlit night, a shadow appeared at the edge of the trees. It was the merchant, his mask shimmering with eerie light. "We always collect our debts," he whispered. Amara's heart raced. "What do you want from me?" "From me." The merchant's mask twisted into a grin. "Your courage is admirable. But there will come a time when you will be summoned back to the market, and when that time comes, you must bring another with you, a soul willing to bargain." Amara's breath caught in her throat. She could never condemn another to the horrors she had faced. "I will find a way to break this curse," she vowed. The merchant's laughter echoed through the forest as he faded into the shadows. Years passed, and Amara's story became a legend in Kanu village. Mothers warned their children about the midnight market, and travelers spoke in hushed tones of the bargains struck there. Amara lived a long life, but she never forgot the debt she carried. On her deathbed, she gathered Chima and the village elders. "Promise me," she whispered, "that you will never seek the midnight market. It is a place of treacherous wonders and unrelenting debts." Chima nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. "I will honor your wish, Mama." As the last breath left her body, Amara's spirit rose, unburdened at last. She looked down at her son and the village she had protected. A light shimmered in the distance, not the dark glow of the midnight market, but a warm, golden radiance that welcomed her home. The midnight market never summoned her again. Her courage and sacrifice had paid the ultimate debt.